Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I am doing a continuation of the video I did yesterday talking about belly fat and how to lose belly fat. I got off on this tangent with it because I kept seeing ads. I keep seeing ads for these supplements or things or drinks or whatever, and it's like, drink this thing and you lose all your belly fat, and I'm like, that's not how the female body works. That's not how this goes. People, like, stop trying to just sell women crap and then make us feel bad when we struggle to get the certain results that we're trying to get, right? Like, this is the worst thing ever. So I feel like there's, and maybe it's me, so tell me if you're noticing this too, but I feel like there's an extra abundance right now of the market being flooded with things, women being targeted with crap, right? Oh, it's this thing that's gonna really, just get your belly flat. And I'm like, no. Anyway, okay, so if you missed that video, go back and watch it from yesterday. There is a ton of info in there, but I'm going to talk about, there was one topic that I talked about, the hormone piece of it from yesterday that I got quite a few messages on and people commenting saying, yes, I would love more info on this. Yeah, so here it is. A little more of a deep dive for you, just for you. Ask and you shall receive, right? Okay, sorry. So I do cover a lot of this information in my podcast, The Female Health Solution. So if you've not subscribed to my podcast, do so, because there's a ton of info in that and a ton of episodes I've done. All my videos are archived in my YouTube channel, which is just Dr. Beth Westy. So you can get a ton of content there and subscribe to that. And then my book, The Female Fat Solution, is on Amazon. And I talk about nutrition that matches your hormones. So that's a big piece of, really aligning with estrogen, progesterone to make sure you're going through that ebb and flow to get the most out of your body and hormones. So that's just on Amazon. And then I'm also in the middle of my next book, which is actually my third book, Nutrition for Female Athletes. So stay tuned for that still. Just haven't, anyway. Still plugging away. Sometimes book writing is excruciating. So anyway, so when we talk about belly fat and hormones though, and really the driver behind this, the one thing that is really important to understand is that this is something that, a lot of women struggle with. You're not alone with this. And a lot of times this is the piece of, weight loss or getting to your healthy weight or being able to get to your goals, feeling healthy and strong in your body. This is the piece that makes women feel like they're crazy and that it can be the toughest to get to and maintain. So this is the part that I'm going to dive into because this is where women struggle a ton. Now, if for some reason, you have questions on this for you, I cover something and you're like, oh my gosh, I want more information, I'm going to put a link below the video. You can click that link, schedule a call with me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have pertaining to you specifically. So just let me know what you guys need help with. I do calls every day with women, tons of questions. I do calls with women literally all over the world. Because women everywhere are struggling with this, because nutrition for women is not easy. It's not simple. It's not calories in, calories out. So again, if you're stuck and struggling, schedule a call. Again, it's just to see how I can help you navigate some of these things that seem tough, but they're not tough. Belly fat and hormones. Estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and thyroid are the things that I'm going to be kind of talking about here and covering. Now, when we look at these four main things, one of the things that they all contribute to belly fat, and it's sort of in different ways. So they're not all the same. Estrogen, progesterone, right? These are the dominant female hormones that you're going to have, that your body's going to ebb and flow through. So if you are estrogen dominant, and a lot of women are estrogen dominant and have no idea, or maybe that's a new term for you, but that can really, essentially, the short term of it is it messes up your hormones. It makes it really difficult for your body to burn through and get to a fat burning stage and stay there. Progesterone, this can also be increased, decreased, more or less than what it should be. You should have a nice balance of these two, but having one being, dominant and the other one not having enough, it can mess up your ovulation. It can mess up your cycle. It can mess up a lot of different things, right? And you don't have that normal balance, then it's going to affect your results from there on out. Cortisol, stress, this is stress hormone. I mean, so the tough thing here with women, and I have a whole section in my book about stress and how stress impacts women differently, how it's gonna, it's this whole other thing, right? It is this entire, different impact on your system, which causes you to crave carbs, it causes you to crave sugars, and it literally will turn your body into fat storage mode. Like, even if you're eating healthy, even if you're working out a ton, even if you got this new supplement that's supposed to burn fat, your body won't do it if it's too high in cortisol and you're not addressing this. There was just a question, how would you know if you were dominant in one? Ooh, that's a good question. I'll have to do a whole nother video on that. Just diving down in. A lot of times, the short of it is if you're looking at, hey, are my hormones balanced or not? So this could be if your cycles are irregular, if you have really bad PMS, really bad cycles, that can be a trigger that, hey, one of your hormones is off here with estrogen and progesterone. Fatigue, inability to lose weight, gaining weight, all those things. I'll do a whole video on that specifically then. How do you know if your hormones are even off here, right? That's a really good question. But a lot of times women are like, I know my hormones are off. I can feel it, right? It's not normal. So that's a big key thing too. So with cortisol, how that affects weight loss, meaning inability to lose weight, and then the negative impact of stress, how that will target your muscle tissue, fatigue, everything. It is so crazy. And then there's thyroid too. And thyroid, your thyroid's right here, and it's in charge of your metabolism. And if you have your the trouble is that so if you kind of group these two together, this one and this one, if you have trouble in this and these areas, I call it the trifecta. Yeah, I just call it the trifecta because you've got all of them. You've got all the hormone issues off. And this is sort of, I want to say normal for women who have a hormone issue in one area and it goes on for long enough, it's going to affect these other areas. Same thing here. This can then throw off hormones in the other area. They all feed off of each other. So it's really, really important to make sure that you're having a balance of all of these. And if it's too much in your system, it's going to prevent you from being able to get to the weight that you want. Again, like I said, you can be eating well. You can be exercising. I chat with women and they're like, I'm eating 1,200 calories a day, but I can't lose weight. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Do you have stress in your life? Yes. Are your hormones off? Yes. Right? There's a problem there and it's not being addressed. So one of the bigger things here when you do have a hormone issue, and I see some questions coming through and I'll get to those in just a minute, but one of the things to focus on that can help move you forward in this is that, one, I talk about eating for your cycle and helping, I say balance your hormones, right? They don't want them to be even, but you want them to be regulated better, right? And work for you. So that's what we're looking for there. But the other thing here too is that if you have an excess of any and all of these, you need to get rid of the excess. You can't have that excess built up in your body. Sweetheart, I'm in the middle of a video. Can I help you with something later? Is that okay? Sweetheart, is that super urgent right now?
What is this?
Okay, how about we talk about it later?
All right.
Right, yeah, it's real. It's real life.
What?
Okay, yep, take the puppy. Yep. So if you have a buildup of these things and they're in your system, how can your body, handle even more, right? If you have a lot of stress in your body and then stressful things happen, it's going to impact it even more in a negative way. What do you do? What do you do? Right? Mom, right? Yes, right. So the biggest thing to move forward, the first step that you have to address is getting rid of the excess hormone. So get rid of excess. You have to do that. You just can't, keep going on like this. Otherwise, you're going to try and like, oh, I'll just do this, or oh, I'll have a hysterectomy, right? Because that'll fix the hormone problem. No, it doesn't fix the hormone problem. You're just taking care of, the bad effect that happened from having your hormones off. You know what I mean? You still have her hormones off, and it's still causing a negative impact on your weight loss and your health and everything else, right? So getting rid of the excess hormones. So one of the things to focus on, and again, this is just an intro. So in my 12-week program, this is what I take women through, and we do it at a pace and a rate that's customized to your body and for what you need. So this is a thing that it's hard for me to say exactly what the steps are because it's different for each person. As we go through the 12-week program, depending on how fast or slow your body responds, because it's got to be, kind of leading it and guiding it enough so that it still moves along. But again, anything too fast, oftentimes if you already have a hormone issue or stress, right? And even if it's a good thing, too much of a good thing is going to be seen as a stressor on your body, and it will backfire. And I'm sure there's some of you that are like, oh my goodness, I totally had that happen to me and everything. Okay, come here. Come here. Oh, you're knocking my stuff over. Okay, yes, we're just...
Hello, I'm handing her lip balm.
Yes, she's just needed to come and hand me lip balm, and she's got toothpaste on her mouth.
I have toothpaste on my mouth?
Yes, you had toothpaste on your mouth. This is Azalea. This is part of life being a mom, right?
Fancy hat.
And she got a fancy hat that she was wearing and playing dress up with. You're so cute. All right, are you getting ready for bed? Did you go make your lunch for tomorrow?
No.
Okay, go do that, please. Thank you, kiddo. That was a different kid from earlier, by the way, in case you're wondering. Okay, now, but I have my lip balm from her. I didn't ask for that, by the way. Okay. Getting rid of the excess stress in your life. Okay. How does your body get rid of the hormone and process it? This is exciting. Ready? Through your liver. Your body has natural ways to process all of this stuff. So if you're helping support how your body naturally functions, it will be able to go through this in a healthy, positive way. That's the biggest key that I fall back on for women. Women often forget that, oh my gosh, let's start with how your body is supposed to naturally function and work. And then match your nutrition to that and work with that. If there's something off with how your body's naturally functioning, let's try and get it to the baseline first. That's really in the 12-week program I have. That's where I start with women. Let's get you to the baseline. Let's get you to the starting point. Let's build a new strong foundation of health for you that you can go off of. So that's sometimes for a lot of women really getting through, because all of these hormones are metabolized by your liver. And if your liver is overloaded with stress and with everything else, it's going to have a hard time processing through a lot of this stuff. And if you've had this for a long time, or you've had, we'll just say traumas of different types, right? Thyroid issues, lots of stress, you've had kids or been on birth controls of some kind, those are traumas and things that are disrupting how your hormones naturally function. And they can essentially get backlogged or bottlenecked in your liver, so you have to help your liver kind of push through these things. Be nice to your liver, right? Just be nice to it. So there's some different herbs and supplements that can help do that. I'll just throw out a few, right? So my recommendations for women really do come on an individual basis. How long have you been struggling with this? How much of an issue is this for you based on what you've had go on, right? Like we go through when I chat with somebody, I go through your story with you. When did this start? How long has this happened? What are the things that you've been doing that have helped, not helped? How long, what was the time frame on some of these things? That lets me know a lot about what's going on in your body to know how to move forward for you. So, things like, aloe is really good for the liver, dandelion, milk thistle, some of these things. But a lot of women, they're having a trouble with their liver, but they're saying, oh, look, I'm taking chasteberry. Oh, good. Raspberry leaf tea. That's good for hormones, right? Sure. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. But if you're not processing through it, it's not going to make a big shift on this end. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about really all encompassing. How are we going to really help with a lot of these issues at once? So it's really hammering out the things that are going to help your body function and work better, and then build it from there. If you have a lot of stress in your life, if you've seen somebody that has a lot of stress, they just look different, you know? They look different. And a lot of times it'll decrease their muscle tissue. So they get like kind of skinny fat. So it's important that they're getting enough protein to help rebuild that, as well as really, you know, helping the liver. So again, like I said, it's tough for me to just say, oh, do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 because that may not be the exact order that you would need to focus on to get the best result for you. Which is, again, I'll put a link below the video if you have questions on how this would work for you, or what would be a good couple of steps for you to take, you know, just to get started. I'm more than happy to chat with you. But, you know, this is why I have a 12-week program, to walk women through this step by step by step, to make sure that you are seeing and feeling the results that you should be seeing and feeling. A bigger thing when we talk about doing a nutrition program, you know, women are like, oh, well, yeah, I've done this and that. And I'm like, well, great, you know, but you can always follow a generic nutrition program. But if it's not customized to your body and what it needs, it's not going to be something that serves you and takes you to the next level and has you stay there. So, yeah, so that's really kind of what I got for you guys tonight. This really focusing on like the belly fat piece of it. Again, go watch the video I did yesterday if you missed it. But this one specifically on hormones, how that works, and everything else. And again, like, so if you guys have more questions or want me to do a video on a deep dive, so I had some questions on how do you know if you're estrogen dominant or not? How do you know if this is a problem for you? I'll do that. I'm going to scroll back. I think there was a couple of questions. Dun, 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 dun. I know. Oh, okay. Want to hear more on that topic? Yes. Cortisol is, a hormone IUD. Ooh, that's a really good question. So if you have a hormone IUD, some of these hormones can be sort of muted, but it just depends. Like, having a hormone IUD can affect you in certain ways. There's people who are on birth control, so if you're trying to get to a certain level of performance and you're on a birth control, it decreases your performance level by at least 11% across the board. It's just how it is. Again, our bodies are designed to go through a certain ebb and flow all the time. And if that's not happening, then it sort of hinders some of the natural abilities that we have, that we should be taking advantage of. Hashimoto's, yes. Okay, Barbara. Yes, I'll send you a message on that, because that's a little more of an in-depth question. Yes. Yes. Okay, Missy. Yeah. I will do a deep dive on more of the hormone piece of it. How do you know if you are having an issue? Because again, a lot of times women, they feel bad. Like you're thinking, oh, it's just me. Oh, I just have to be more disciplined. Oh, I get these cravings, or I binge eat. Well, if you binge eat like in a certain pattern, like you start on a super strict diet, and you have a really stressful job, and 2 weeks into this super stressful diet, all of a sudden you just find yourself like face deep in a cake, and you're like, I don't even know how I got here. Right? Then it wasn't the right diet for you to begin with, because you shouldn't be on a really restrictive diet like that. You need to have a certain amount of carb, especially if you have high stress, because that's your brain food. You need to have carb for all these other things, right? And then if you're not addressing the overload, it's, again, that's the backfire. So I don't want to say like you're not failing. It's the plan is not the right fit for where you're at to help you move forward. So it's all about, kind of reframing. Look at, think about, okay, here's what I'm struggling with. Here's all the things that I've done. I don't even know what to do next. Again, that's why I'm here. And this is what I love doing. It's really hard to kind of see the forest from the trees in terms of making the next step, right? Because you get so caught up on, ooh, there's this magic pill out there that's supposed to get my belly fat, right? Well, again, if it's not addressing this stress and this cortisol, it's not going to do it. By the way, your stress and cortisol, that's your abdomen, right? That's the tire around your abdomen. So, yes. Anyway. All right. Yes. But not even in early menopause. Yes. So let me know if you guys have more questions on this. Again, I'll put that link below the video if you Would like to chat. I'm more than happy. I would love to answer any questions you have. And if you found this helpful, I would so love and appreciate you sharing this message, because there's so many women who are struggling with things like this. Like, they don't even know that there's a thing called estrogen dominance. They have no idea. They have no idea that just like they're focusing on the wrong thing and not focusing on your liver, right? So my mission is just to educate women, give you more information to take charge of your health and your direction and your path so that you can get to your healthiest self easier and faster. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and let me know your questions, and I will see you later.